Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers, and help me out this afternoon talking about the NFL team needs for the Washington Commanders. As always, from over at FirstRoundMock.com, Mr. William Yanish III. How you doing this afternoon, man?
I'm doing great, Logan. How about you, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Talking about our favorite guy, favorite former NFL draft scout, Daniel Kelly, his favorite team, the Washington Commanders, and what they need to improve and how they can get back on top of the football world and how they can improve in the 2024 NFL draft and beyond. So before we get into it, though, if you enjoy the episode, guys, give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe. We're live every single week on Facebook and YouTube, but be sure to tune in next week, especially Thursday, April 25th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing our live draft show, live reactions for the entire first round, and we get to see who will go number one, who will your team pick, and if your team might reach or go with someone you've never heard of before. Well, luckily, we are here to cover that and to give you all of the ins and outs about said player. So, Mr. Yanish, let's get into it, man. Before we start, though, you said that you ran out of room on your draft notes, on your notes about this. What do you think about Washington, man? What do they need to do?
Oh, well, first off, FirstRoundMock.com, come see us. Mention Daniel Kelly. That's my boy, man. Shout out. Anyway, I ran out of, on who they've added between, Austin Eckler and Bobby Wagner, Marcus Mariota, Zach Ertz, Dante Fowler, Frankie Luvu. I like that ad. That is, that's a quarterback of your defense. Bobby Wagner will be there, but Luvu will learn a lot from him, and it's going to be good. Whole bunch of other ones they've added. Jeremy Chin, that's an interesting one. The safety from Carolina. I mean, he's a good player, man. He's kind of like a linebacker playing safety, and I definitely like that. Cleveland Farrell, Jeremy Reeves. They've just added so much, but between with new head coach, new regime, offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, defensive coordinator Joe Witt, they've got the second pick in the draft. This is second time since Chase Young. There was a second pick in the draft, and you see how that worked out. I've got two words for you, and it's Drake May. Pick Drake May. He is the best quarterback in this draft. You have to do that. No offense to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is a fine player, but decision making, frame, that kind of stuff goes into that. Drake May, like I said, best quarterback in this draft, an absolute monster of an arm. McLaurin will have an absolute monster season with May at wide receiver. That's one thing I said May would win Offensive Rookie of the Year, just like I said with Stroud last year. That happened. So, their second round pick, all right, they've got 36. They need to get someone to help Drake May. They don't have a tight end so much. Logan Thomas, he never really he was good, but that was about it. Picking up Cade Stover, Javion Sanders, Ben Sinnott from Kansas State. That's one that I just did, and he is a great wide receiver. He'll pass block. He missed a few blocks, but they've got 6 picks in the top 100.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Washington on draft night.
Yeah. So, and they've got, they bring in Zach Ertz. Like I said, yeah, he'll help, but he's, banged up, constantly nicked up. And they have to do what they're going to do. I like Kingsbury as offensive coordinator. Dan Quinn is going to become, like Dallas Light over here. That was kind of a, not sure why, Josh. I don't know, but I like the coaching staff. I like who they've signed. They've got 6 picks, hit on at least 4 of them, though. Be headed towards, the playoffs. They've always had a decent team, just not a horrible team. This last year was a little bit off, but, they traded Sam Howell, opened up the spot. And like I said, no Jaden Daniels, no nothing, just Drake May. That's people talk about that. They say, oh, yeah, he'll get people fired. He'll do that. No, he will not. He's a kid. He's 21 years old. He's one of the youngest in the draft. He started, I mean, followed Sam Howell. And, he dropped off because he lost Josh Downs. He didn't have the elite receiver that every other quarterback in this draft had, pretty much. I mean, you can add it up if you look and see that they all had an elite receiver and he did not. His stats dropped off a little bit, but like I said, offensive rookie of the year. I mean, second pick. Otherwise, he is probably going to go to the Patriots or unless, Minnesota trades up like they've been talking. But Washington, if they get Daniels, I don't know how far they're going to go. And just because, I have a 3rd round grade on Jaden Daniels, and it's just some of the things he does, some of the just that thing, that's the feeling I got from him. And I just got a great feeling from Drake May. I mean, that's how I pan out these prospects, is get into it. And I try to write, in tone, like, writing doesn't have tone, but that's my goal in life.
Right. I get you. I got you.
and that's the tone I set for my articles, like, to explain how good this player is, and I'm consistently pretty, right, rock star level.
There we go. That's the confidence we like to see here.
Yeah. Confidence. I like that in a quarterback. Drake May has that. He comes from a football family, his whole family played. That's why he played at UNC. Otherwise he would have been someplace else. Dude has an absolute cannon for an arm. And
that would look good out there in Washington. He looked good in those colors.
They have a chance to do this. And, I know Daniel is not overly crazy. He still has 1st round grade on Drake May, but he says he's just a little bit less. Well, I don't agree with that. So, and I'll say that. You're welcome, Daniel.
Because I know he's watching.
Your team needs my boy, man.
and we will see. We will see who he goes, what this team goes with. If he'll go the route of what you think in Mr. Drake May or whoever DK has going with him.
Man.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm pretty sure he might have May too, because I mean,
okay, all right. He just don't agree with the second overall pick. I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
But
all right.
So
Washington's had a problem with quarterbacks.
Oh yeah. That's not even a question. That's a statement and a fact. So Mr. Turner could say this draft needs to be a home run for Washington with a new coach. Exactly. You want to make a big splash with a brand new coach, and we know Washington's been beaten up from on the field, off the field, in the media. Their stadium's falling apart. I mean, it has not been a good couple of years. If
half the nation still calling them the Redskins,
right? I'm about to say they've went through multiple name changes. It's been a rough handful of years if you're a fan of the Washington team, because they've had so many names out there. But when I think about Washington, as you mentioned, they've got a ton of draft picks. A lot of them coming in the 3rd round also. They've got 3 picks in round 3, picks 78, 100, and also 67. That, wouldn't surprise me, not Daniel, because you got to think about it. This is his team. So I'm always just thinking, when I think of Washington football, I think
for him.
I'm about to say, I do it for him. When I think of this team, what they can do, if they can couple maybe two of those 3rd round picks, William, and trade them away, you can move up, or you could get a player if you want. Just depends on what the team wants. So they definitely have draft capital to trade if they want to. If not, heck, go with 9 players. That'd be great. But I mean, I think this team is obviously, yes, they need a quarterback. That's their main concern. They are. I would quit this network if they don't go with a quarterback 2nd overall. With this opportunity, you have to get a quarterback. You have to.
Can't trade down. You can't do anything. Man. You don't have a quarterback.
You need a quarterback. You need a quarterback if you want to succeed. And that's what the Washington needs right now. So you need a quarterback, some other positions they need to help out on. I would say get some help on the defensive side of the ball. Like you mentioned, they got Jeremy Chen. You can never be too ready on your defensive backs, your corners, your safeties, and whatnot, because those guys can get hurt, and you need a solid backup to go in there and play if you need to. With all these draft picks they got, they can easily find a reliable cornerback or so in this draft. Also help out on the O-line. I always advise teams to go with at least get one O-lineman in your draft. Doesn't matter where you're at, because those guys consistently get hurt. They always go down, and whenever they do get hurt, a team, for the most part, crumbles because they don't have a reliable backup. So I would say go with an O lineman, help out your D line as well, or excuse me, your defensive backs, and then obviously get you a quarterback, and we'll see who will be rocking out there in Washington. Well, Mr. William Yanish, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, talking about the Washington Commanders and what they need to do in the upcoming 2024 NFL Draft. And if you guys want to see our reactions to who Washington is going to get, well, luckily you can do so, because as I mentioned, we are going live on Thursday, April 25th, live at 7:30 Eastern. We're going to be talking all things draft, pre-draft evaluations a little bit before it kicks off at 8 o'clock. And then once that clock is ticking in Chicago, we will be here breaking it down, seeing who will go number 1 overall and for the entire first round. Mr. Yanish, man, I appreciate it, man. As always, I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Once again, if you like the show, guys, give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe. We'll be back with another live episode. We'll see you later.